Next topic, coupled. A pair of forces which are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction and also parallel. Such a pair of forces is called coupled. Look at this diagram. AB is a rod, rigid rod, pivoted at the point O, and two forces are acting here at the edges A and B. They are equal in magnitude, value is same. They are acting in opposite direction and they are parallel forces. If you draw the line of action of these two forces, they are parallel. Such a pair of forces is called coupled. And how to find out moment of couple? The formula is force into perpendicular distance. This perpendicular distance, here the perpendicular distance is AB. This perpendicular distance is also called as arm of couple. Arm of couple. So let us solve a numerical. Same question. 10 Newton is the force. Suppose this distance AB is 2 meter. This total distance is 2 meter. How will you find out moment of couple? Moment of couple is equal to force. One force you have to consider. Okay, 10 Newton is the force into perpendicular distance 2 meter. So 20 Newton meter. In case of couple, both the forces will produce moment in the same direction. Look at this force will produce an anti-clockwise moment. The other force also makes anti-clockwise moment. Let us discuss one more numerical. This question is there in your textbook, page number 11, question number 4. I will read out the question. Calculate the moment of force given in the given diagram. In this diagram, it is given that two forces are acting. 100 Newton force at the two ends of the rod. Length of the rod is 10 meter. Total length AB is 10 meter, and these forces are acting at 60-degree angle. Okay, and you have to find out the moment of this couple. Both the forces, you can see they are parallel. If you draw the line of action of force, it goes parallel. In this case, how will you find out the moment of couple? Force into perpendicular distance. How will you measure the perpendicular distance? Actually, this AB is not the perpendicular distance between the two forces. In that case, what you have to do is draw the line of action of both the forces. These two dotted lines are the line of action of forces. Then draw the perpendicular distance. BC is the perpendicular distance. BC is the perpendicular distance between the two forces. Then moment is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Force is 100 Newton. Now, how will you find out this BC, perpendicular distance? Consider the triangle ABC. ABC. Take the trigonometric ratio. This angle is 60. This angle is 90. So take the trigonometric ratio of sine 60. In this angle, sine 60, you know, sine is opposite side by hypotenuse. For 60 degree, opposite side is BC. Hypotenuse means AB, that is 10 meter. So BC is 10 into sine 60. That is the perpendicular distance. This side is 10 into sine 60. So moment is force into perpendicular distance, that is 10 into sine 60. Then sine 60 value you can get from the logarithm table. Do the multiplication. You will get the moment in Newton meters. Next topic we will discuss about equilibrium. When a large number of forces are acting on a body, but the body continues in its same state, either rest or motion, then the body is said to be in equilibrium. There are two types of equilibrium, static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium. The word static means stationary. That means the body is at rest. Dynamic means body is under motion. And let us see the meaning of static equilibrium. On a body at rest, some forces are acting, but the body still continues in the same state of rest. That is the meaning of static equilibrium. Consider some example. Look at a wooden block is kept on a table surface, and two boys are pulling this wooden block with equal force in opposite direction. This wooden block was initially at rest. Then, after applying these two forces, the wooden block will still continue in the same state of rest. What is the reason? Because the two forces, the net force is zero. The force exerted by this boy, if it is taken as positive, the force, the opposite direction must be given a negative sign. So what is the net force? Net force is zero. So the body at rest continues in the same state of rest even after applying the forces. This situation we call as condition we call as static equilibrium. So one more example. Consider a pivoted body pivoted at O. Two forces are, body is at rest initially. Then two forces are acting on it like this at the 2 points. Here 150 Newton, here 300 Newton. These are the directions. This is the pivoted point. So this force of 150 Newton will produce an anti-clockwise moment. This force will produce a clockwise moment. Let us calculate the net moment on the body. First we will calculate the anti-clockwise moment. This anti-clockwise moment is force into perpendicular distance, 150 into 1. That means 150 Newton meter. How much is the clockwise moment? Force into perpendicular distance, 300 into 0.5, that is 150 Newton meter. Then what is the net moment? Anti-clockwise moment must be given positive sign, clockwise moment negative sign. So net moment, when you add, resultant moment is 0. Then the body, this body will not get any moment. How it was earlier before applying these two forces, same way the body will remain. That is another example for static equilibrium. Means a body at rest continues in the same state of rest after applying some forces. This is known as static equilibrium. Then dynamic equilibrium. Consider a moving body. Dynamic equilibrium means a body under motion continues the motion even after applying a number of forces. Look at this example. A moving car. Car is moving in this direction, and weight of the car acts downward. Its normal reaction in the upward direction, frictional force in the opposite direction. If these four forces balance each other, the net force acting on the car will become 0. Okay, in that case, car will go with a uniform speed. With a steady speed, it will move forward. The moving body will continue the motion as it is without any change. That is known as dynamic equilibrium. One more example, raindrops falling down. When a body falls towards earth, it has acceleration. It comes with the variable velocity. Okay, but the raindrops sometimes they come with the uniform velocity, which we call as terminal velocity. Why velocity becomes uniform? Why velocity is not changing? Due to gravitational force, the body must have some change in velocity, but it is not happening in certain situations. That when the weight of the raindrop and the buoyant force exerted by air, when they balance each other, the net force will become 0. In that case, there will not be any acceleration. This raindrop will come down with the uniform velocity. These are the examples. Means moving bodies continues the motion even after a number of forces acting on it. This is the definition of dynamic equilibrium. So final conclusion, a body can have equilibrium when the net force acting on it is 0 or the net moment acting on the body is 0. Anti-clockwise moment and clockwise moment are equal, or when we take the algebraic sum, vector sum, it is 0. These are the conditions for body to have equilibrium. Next topic, principle of moments. This principle says that if the sum of anti-clockwise and clockwise moments acting on a body, if it is 0, the body will be in equilibrium. Okay, look at this example. You can see a rod AB suspended with a thread at its midpoint O. Then the scale remains in horizontal position since it is hanging from the midpoint. Now, next step, we are hanging two weights W1 and W2 on two sides of the scale at different distance L1 and L2. Still, the scale remains in the same horizontal position. The scale is in static equilibrium. What can be the reason? This weight W1 produces some anti-clockwise moment, and this weight W produces some clockwise moment. Then you can calculate the moments. This weight hanging here is W1, perpendicular distance is L1. So W1, L1 is the anti-clockwise moment. Clockwise moment is W2 into L2. If this clockwise and anti-clockwise moments are equal, then the scale, the body will remain in equilibrium. Scale will remain in horizontal position. So, the principle of moment says that a body remains in equilibrium if the anti-clockwise moment and clockwise moment are equal. Or you can say when you take the sum of it, it will become 0 because anti-clockwise moment is given positive sign, clockwise moment is given negative sign. When you take the vector sum or algebraic sum, the total moment is 0. Let us solve a numerical based on principle of moments. This numerical question you can see on page number 11, question number 5. I will read out the question. On a seesaw, two students are seated. Here the students, their body weight I have shown symbolically. Two students are sitting on one side of the seesaw. Their body mass is given 40 kilogram is the body mass of one student. So weight will be 40 kilogram force. The other one body weight is 60 kilogram force. This boy of 40 kilogram force weight is sitting from the sitting at a distance of 4 meter from the pivoted point of the seesaw. You know, for a seesaw the pivoted point is the midpoint. So from there at a distance 4 meter, one boy is seated, other boy is seated at 5 meter. Then you know in this situation seesaw will not be in equilibrium, it will not balance. Both the boys are making anti-clockwise moment. So naturally the seesaw will turn anti-clockwise. Now to balance this seesaw, another man of mass 70 kilogram has to sit on the other side, and you are asked to find out at what distance he must sit. So we assume that he has to sit at a distance x, unknown distance we don't know, but his body weight we are knowing 70 kilogram force. A man of 70 kilogram force body weight must sit on another side at an unknown distance, and at what distance he has to sit not to balance the seesaw we have to find out. You know, this man will make a clockwise moment and seesaw will remain in equilibrium only if the total anti-clockwise moment and clockwise moment are equal. So we assume that this seesaw is now balanced, but we don't know the distance. So if seesaw is balanced and in equilibrium, we can apply the principle of moments. That is, total anti-clockwise moment is equal to total clockwise moment. Then how to find two anti-clockwise moments are there? You have to find it separately and add it, then you will get the total anti-clockwise moment. How to find out anti-clockwise moment produced by this boy? force into perpendicular distance, 60 into 5, plus how much is the anti-clockwise moment produced by this ball? 40 into 4. This is the total anti-clockwise moment. How much is the clockwise moment? Force into perpendicular distance, 70 into x. Now solve it. 300 plus 160 is equal to 70x. Here 460 is equal to 70x. X is equal to 460 by 70. You will get the answer in meter. Never leave the answer in fractions. You have to solve it fully and get the answer in 2 decimal places. Here I am stopping to save the time. Okay, you have to find out the answer in decimals. Let us solve one more numerical. This question you will get on page number 11, 6th example. A uniform meter scale AB. Uniform, the word uniform means its thickness is equal from one end to another end. So uniform meter scale. 1 meter scale means its length is 1 meter. The markings at the 2 ends are, one end will have 0 marking, the other end 100. It will be marked in centimeters. And 50 is the midpoint. And this scale is pivoted at 60 centimeter mark, not at the midpoint. So you know the scale can't balance, scale will turn. So I will write out the question. A uniform meter scale rests horizontally on a knife edge at 60 centimeter mark when a mass of 10 gram is suspended from one end. From one end it is given. We don't know at A or B. Somewhere 10 gram mass is suspended. Thereby the scale is able to balance. Draw the diagram and find out at which end must this mass be suspended. And also find out the mass of the scale. This for every object, its weight acts at the point called center of gravity. Since it is uniform scale, its center of gravity is the midpoint. This midpoint is known as center of gravity. In coming topic, we will see the detailed meaning of center of gravity. That is the point where the weight of a body acts. So weight of this scale acts at the center of gravity, which is the midpoint. So here the weight acts. We don't know what is the weight or mass of the scale. I am just marking it as W. So this weight is a force. It will, and this is the turning point or pivoted point. So this weight will produce an anti-clockwise moment. Thereby the scale will turn in anti-clockwise direction. But it is given the question, the scale is balanced with a mass suspended from one end. Then can you guess at which end that 10 gram mass must be suspended? If you suspend the 10 gram mass here, that mass also will produce anti-clockwise moment. So both are anti-clockwise moments, scale will not balance. So naturally 10 gram mass you have to suspend here at this end. 10 gram mass means its weight is 10 gram force. Okay. So now this 10 gram force will produce a clockwise moment. Likewise, the scale can balance. So this is how to choose the at which end you have to suspend the that 10 gram mass. Now that, so first part is solved. At which end we have to suspend 10 gram force, that is at the end B. Now next, find out the weight of this scale. Since the scale is balanced, now we can apply the principle of moments, that is anti-clockwise moment is equal to clockwise moment. Then how will you find out anti-clockwise moment? Force into perpendicular distance. This distance is 10 centimeter because this is 60 centimeter mark on the scale. This is 50, so this distance is 10 centimeter. This distance is, this is 100 centimeter mark, this is 60. So this distance is 40 centimeter mark. So apply the principle of moments. Anti-clockwise moment is W into 10 is equal to clockwise moment is force into perpendicular distance, 10 into 40. So W is equal to 10 into 40 upon 10. that is 40 gram. Force is the weight and mass is 40 gram. Mass of the scale is 40 gram. Listen to one more numerical based on moment of force. Look at the diagram. You can see a circular disc pivoted at the point having three points marked on it, O, A and B. Diameter of this wheel is 4 meters, so radius is 2 meters each. On this wheel, a force of 4 Newton acts at this point. 4 Newton is the force, and you are asked to find out the moment of force about O and about this point A. This is the point A. This question is there in your textbook, page number 13. So how will you find out the moment of force about O? Means O is the turning point. Assume O as the turning point, then find out the moment. Then moment is equal to force into perpendicular distance. 4 into 2 meter. 4 Newton into 2 meter. 4 is the force, 2 meter is the perpendicular distance, 8 Newton meter. Now same question, find out the moment about A. That means A must be taken as the turning point. How, what difference it makes? You just look at. Suppose this is the circular disc, and the disc, here is the point B and here is the point A, this is O. This disc is turning around O, means like this it turns. This is the meaning of turning around O. Then disc turns around A means this is the point A. It turns around A means this is how it turns. That means the way of rotation varies when you take O as the turning point and A as the turning point. So if A is taken as the turning point, what will be the moment? And this is the turning point. So force into perpendicular distance must be 4 meter. 4 Newton into perpendicular distance from the line of action of force to the turning point is the diameter, 4 meter. So 16 Newton meter will be the moment about A.